I started at Wellington when I was in kindergarten. I joined the theater department my freshman year of high school. I've always been a techie. I really love working backstage. I started just on set construction and backstage management. And then at the end of my sophomore year, all the other techies graduated, all of them. And I was the only one left. And I will always remember I was sweeping up after one of our shows and Mr. Glover came over to me and he said, I know you do a lot of things, but we're gonna need someone new to take on this challenge of sort of helping run the tech crew next year. And I would love for it to be you. And I was really excited about it because I had seen all the amazing things that our theater does and that really amazing community that he fosters. And I was totally on board. So one of the biggest things that I missed when I graduated was that theater family that we had, that we created art together, and it was absolutely wonderful. So I'm at MIT, I study mechanical engineering and theater arts. I have always loved doing lots of different things, but finally I realized that I wanted to do mechanical engineering because it has all this sort of technical expertise, it has this physics that I've always loved. When people ask me why I'm mechanical engineering and theater, they often expect that there's some like brilliant plan I have that like combines these two things. And there's no plan, there's no like secret that everyone's missing. But I don't think it's about combining them, I think it's about seeing how they are in fact almost the same, right? Because they're both very much about design and it's about creating. And what I love about mechanical engineering is it very much has that STEM side of creating. It's this physical limitations and practical limitations, and when you're making things, making sure that they work. But theater also asks, how do we make people feel? And how do we ask other people to engage with what we've created? And I think that's also really, really important. You're still designing within constraints and you're still designing for a purpose, but you're also designing with this intentionality about how it's being used. It's the same process from these two different angles, and getting to do both makes me really, really happy. I find it really engaging to sort of switch gears and switch modes. I think that's something that Wellington really encouraged. And I remember in high school, I played 2 different sports and I did theater and I did robotics. And that's hard to do. And it takes a lot of people that are willing to be flexible with time to allow you to do all of that. But I got to be a captain of the softball team and run the theater department, and that was such a joy for me. I think in college, I similarly try not to feel constrained, right? I don't want to get myself in one box and feel like I'm done. But what I found was, I think I was really well prepared for school. I think I showed up and a lot of my classes just reminded me a lot of Mr. Klingler's physics class. And I was like, oh, I've done this before. We're good. Mr. Klingler used to say whenever we were doing problems and I was stuck on something, he'd walk me through the problem like step by step. When you break it down into steps, it's much easier to do. And as I got each step, he'd say, see, we know stuff. And I think that's a phrase that I said to myself probably 100 times the first week. I'd be like stuck or I'd be confused. I was like, all right, I'll do a little bit. I was like, see, we know stuff. Keep going. I just got accepted into a master's program, so I'm gonna do some research for another couple years. I took this really amazing thermodynamics class last year, and it sort of blew my mind. And so I'm hoping to go into sort of energy research. I love energy because it not only powers the world, but it is the world, and it makes up sort of the fabric of everything. Hopefully, you know, going out into the future, I get to keep making art and hopefully making progress on more sustainable energy in the world. I think the biggest thing I am really, really grateful for from my time here at Wellington is that it made me so confident in myself, and it made me really believe that I could go do anything. And I think that mentality of the world is yours to conquer is so powerful. I also think that my time at Wellington made me into a person that I'm proud of. And so beyond even being able to do things, I have this sense that I can do things well and I can be really proud of that work that I do. That mentality from Wellington of do what you love and do all the things you love, and you don't have to limit yourself and it is possible, is something that continues to be true, and I continue to seek out and fight for in my life, and it's so rewarding to do that.